afternoon, everyone. I'm KHOU 11 News anchor Ron Trevino coming to you from the KHOU newsroom. We hope you're enjoying your Monday, last day of September. Tomorrow, October comes, maybe some cooler weather. That's coming in a few days if we keep our fingers crossed. Erica Lopez is going to talk to you about that in just a few seconds, or just a few minutes anyway. Let's talk about some of the stories that you're clicking on our website, khou.com. And some of the stories that we're working on today, some of the stories we'll have for you at 4, 5, and 6, and 10 o'clock tonight. The first one has to do with a major heist. All right, this is a major heist that took place in Hedwig Village. A jade bangle valued at $6 million was stolen during this home invasion. It happened in Hedwig Village. It happened back in August. The masked intruders also stole $400,000 in cash, Hermes purses, and other jewelry during the multi-million-dollar heist that police are saying was a targeted robbery. This happened on August 6th around 6:30 in the morning. The police say that 2 male suspects entered the home wearing masks, carrying a pistol. The first suspect ambushed the victim, tackling her to the ground. The second suspect tied her hands and feet. They ransacked the home, stole valuables totaling more than $6.4 million. The suspects then cut the victim's feet loose with a small knife before they ran from the scene in an unknown direction. Now, Crime Stoppers could pay up to $5,000 for information on this case. But get this, the victim is also offering a reward of $50,000, okay? A $50,000 reward in this heist. Valuables over $6 million stolen from this home in the Hedwig Village. So we're working on that story for you tonight. Also, we're working on the story of a Houston area Navy veteran, actually from Richmond, who has been released from a Thai prison. He had been found not guilty by a jury. Now, Derek Keller was arrested on August 20th of last year after he and Tanya Keller landed in Bangkok for a vacation. The Thai media reported that his arrest was based on him being the alleged mastermind of a Ponzi scheme which defrauded investors of millions of dollars. Now, the Kellers say he was only an actor in that company's corporate videos, which were made long before the company was under investigation. But Derek Keller is now free. We're going to have more on that coming up tonight on our newscasts. Also, another story that everybody is interested in has to do with the shooting and killing of a Harris County deputy last week, and here's the latest on that case. Now it's in the courts. The man charged in the fatal shooting of Harris County Deputy Deputy Dhaliwal was back in a courtroom this morning. Now, he was in the courtroom over the weekend in a probable cause court where he was given no bond. 47-year-old Robert Solis is charged with capital murder. He stood before a judge this morning, still no bond for him. The judge stated in court, quote, "It is a likely outcome that death will be the sentence here." Solis allegedly shot Deputy Dhaliwal in the back of the head during a traffic stop on Friday. According to investigators, Dhaliwal pulled Solis over for running a red light. Multiple law enforcement sources are telling us that Solis is an ex-con who had been wanted since 2017. So we're going to have the latest in terms of the court case now, and how so many people are honoring the deputy as well tonight. We'll have the latest on that coming up tonight. All right, so that's the latest on the news that we're covering, or at least some of the stories we're covering. How about the weather? We know a lot of you have questions, because I did allude to this earlier. A cold front on its way. How soon could that get here? And what about the rest of this week? Well, let's check in with Erica Lopez for our weather now. Hey, Erica.
Hey, Ron. Yeah, that's right. So many questions on the forecast. First, let's talk about what's going on right now, and then I'll get to that possible cold front headed its way. So as of right now, temperatures in the 90s. Yes, the last day of September. It is scorching out there. It is humid. Our only saving grace is that there's a pretty strong south wind right now. Now, only because of the breeze, that's given us the relief, but because of the fact that it's coming from the southeast, that's not helping out the dew point factor, keeping us smuggy, which is why it feels like temperatures right now are well in the triple digits for a lot of folks across our viewing area. Okay, so here's what's going on right now. We're under the influence of this high pressure. High pressure typically means it's hotter, it is drier, but high pressure is actually east of us. So the storm track around this ridge of high pressure, check this out. We actually have a good amount of isolated little pop-up showers out there. Non-severe, couple of light spotty showers west of 45 is what we're tracking as of this afternoon. That's really the only rain chance we're going to get because we're on the outskirts of that ridge of high pressure. But we still get the main influence in terms of heat and also southeast winds moving in the humidity from the Gulf of Mexico. So notice that's going to be the trend throughout this afternoon and into Tuesday. A 10 to 20% chance of rain is what we're talking because of us being on the west side of this area of high pressure. But if we take a look at our upper levels of our atmosphere, right now 500 millibars is about 18,000 feet. So that's what we call the mid levels of the atmosphere. This ridge of high pressure is dominating the eastern half of the country. But then on the opposite end, we have a trough of low pressure. So what the atmosphere is trying to do is just trying to balance each other out. So stronger this area of high pressure is, the stronger the trough of low pressure is. You probably heard about the 4 feet of snow in Montana. You've probably heard about the winter-like conditions for the Pacific Northwest. That's because of this trough of low pressure. We're keeping a very close eye on it because models are still hinting that with this change in pace with what's going on in the atmosphere, it may be strong enough to swing a cold front into next week. Now, I have to let you guys know, models have been hinting this every single week for the month of September. So it's still several days out. There's a lot of uncertainty. This is a little more certain. We have more models that are agreeing with what will happen. We're still very uncertain about the exact timing if this could play out. And it's something we'll have to watch together because obviously we're all keeping our fingers crossed. We're ready for the first front. As of right now, models are hinting the next front maybe early next week, Monday at the moment. But again, this timing could change. The strength of it could definitely change. It's still a week out. We're going to chat about it pretty much every single day because we're all ready though. Okay, here's what's going on across the tropics. Good news, the tropics have quieted down significantly, but we still are monitoring Hurricane Lorenzo right now, which is a Category 2 hurricane. Now, at the moment, a fish storm moving into the cooler Atlantic waters will eventually be a remnant low as we head into the later portion of this week. But check this out. Tropical Storm Narda. This is a tropical storm which forecasts its track to ride up the western side of Mexico. That's going to bring in some flash flooding concerns, not moving at a very rapid pace. Good news is that tropical storm force winds is primarily what we're tracking at the moment, but a lot of that moisture, believe it or not, is actually filtering into the United States. So we're talking flash flooding concerns for western Texas, also parts of New Mexico. 1 to 2 inches of rain. I know it doesn't sound like much, but these areas are very dry. They're basically a desert, so we're talking about flash flooding being a big threat once we get anything above an inch of rain. And then notice the flash flooding concerns with that moisture moving to the northeast continues for the heart of the country also. That's all coming from the tropics, guys, so beneficial moisture for them. For us, we don't get any of it because we're under the influence of that ridge of high pressure. We have 90s across the board this week. Rain chances are slim. Again, a 10 to 20% chance for a sea breeze shower possible. If we get that front early next week, you can't even spot it in the 7-day forecast. As we get closer, we'll be able to pinpoint the timing if it is even going to happen. I know there's a lot of uncertainty, but still something that's very exciting to look out for as we get closer to the first front. All right, well, I'll have your latest forecast coming up on the 411 at 4. Make sure you're tuning in. Comment below. I'll pull up Facebook right now and answer any questions. We'll chat with you guys soon.